We are glad to welcome you to our channel. Kindly subscribe to our channel and share our videos with your friends and relations. And click on the bell icon for instant notification whenever new videos are uploaded on this channel. Rest assured that we are going to have a very exciting and inspiring discussion. Let's dive into the lesson right away. Hello friends, and welcome to our lesson on the best steps in WASSCE summary writing. Today we are going to simplify the process by breaking it down into a few easy steps. And by the end of this lesson, you will be summarizing with confidence. To aid your learning, we are going to tackle past WASSCE summary questions to illustrate these steps. Specifically, we are going to illustrate with the 2023 WASSCE summary passage, and I'm going to show you the best steps to take in order to answer the questions correctly. This is English Classes Online, and as usual, I am your host, Benjamin. Let's dive right in. We want to begin with the lesson objectives. Number 1, explain the summary writing process. Number 2, explain the easy steps in summary writing. And number 3, summarize a given passage. Let's now look at the easy steps in summary writing. Step 1, read ABC, where A is the question, B is the passage, and C is the question again. In other words, you need to read the question first, then read the passage, and read the question again. Step 2, extract. I'm going to explain to you what all these steps are all about. Step 3, reconstruct, and step 4, present. All right, in a nutshell, the process is quite simple. Read, extract, reconstruct, and present. Now, what exactly is the summary writing process? It's important you understand what the summary writing process is all about. Summary writing has to do with picking out the main ideas in a passage and presenting them precisely in your own words. In other words, if I am to summarize a passage, I just need the main ideas. I don't need the details. All I need to do is to identify the main ideas and present them in compliance with the summary writing question. Now, how to summarize a given passage? Let's look at the details of the steps. Step 1, read ABC, and A is read the questions first so as to know what you are to look for in the passage, okay? And what does it mean? You have to look for the question, okay, such as the following. In 6 sentences, one for each, summarize the qualities that the writer advises parents to instill in their children. Now, reading the question first will enable you to know exactly what the passage is about even before reading it. So you already know what the passage is about, and you also know what you are to look for when you start reading the passage. So that exactly is the advantage you have when you read the questions first. You know what you are to look for in the passage, and it will facilitate your reading because you can now read with a purpose since you already know what you are looking for. While reading, you can easily begin to extract them. Now, B, because in this step 1, we are saying you should read ABC, where A is read the questions first, B is read the passage at least twice or until you understand what the passage is about. Now, let's look at the passage, okay? the instruction usually is read the following passage carefully and answer the questions on it. And you can see paragraph 1. For all well-meaning citizens, the moral decadence in our society nowadays is cause for concern. Some have argued that the root cause of this decadence, some have argued that the root cause of this decadence is poor parenting. All right, so you read through the passage. This is paragraph 2. So, and then the next paragraph, and so on and so forth. So what you need to do is simply to read the entire passage, and once you have read through the entire passage, then you already know what to do. All right, so that is exactly the way it is. Once you read through all the paragraphs, then you are familiar with the details, and in fact, as you read through, you will be able to extract the main ideas. For example, as you can see in paragraph 1, you already have idea of what the entire passage is about. And then in paragraph 2, you can begin to look at the answers. Let's look at paragraph 2. There is no doubt that temptations are bound to arise in everyday life. However, if lessons in self-control are instilled in children, they will be able to resist temptations. Now, you have already identified the answer, one of the answers, because you are asked to summarize in 6 sentences. Having read the questions first, as you read through the passage, once you identify any portion of the passage that provides you the answer, then you extract it. So here, one of the qualities, the writer advises parents to instill in their children is self-control. Okay, and since you have identified it here, you simply extract it. And so as you go through other paragraphs, you extract other qualities as required in the summary question. And after extracting them, then you are going to reconstruct them, and then you are going to present them in your own words as your summary answers. So that is the way it is done. Okay, now let's go back to the steps. We have seen that A is read the questions first, and we have seen the benefits. B is read the passage. While reading the passage, you make sure you understand what the passage is about, and even in the process, you begin to identify and extract the ideas, the main ideas required for answering the questions. And then, of course, one of the things you should know in reading the passage is that comprehension comes before summarizing. You need to understand what the passage is all about before answering questions on it. Now, C is read the questions again and make sure you understand what you are asked to do. Okay, read the questions again. And then we go back to the question, and then we read it again. In 6 sentences, one for each, summarize the qualities that the writer advises parents to instill in their children. Reading the question again ensures that you know exactly what you have been asked to do. You become very, very certain that you know what you have been asked to do. This is to avoid the experience of most students who lose marks here because they do the opposite of what the examiner has asked them to do. When you do not understand what the examiner has asked you to do, then you do something else and you lose marks. Okay, that's why you read the questions again and make sure you understand what you are asked to do. Now, moving forward, we look at step 2, and that is extract. What are you supposed to extract? You are supposed to extract the main points in the passage in strict adherence to the instruction in the summary question. That's what you are supposed to extract. Now, to do this, there are some clues that can help you in doing that. And one of the clues is the thesis statement. This shows you the main idea of the whole passage. Where do you find the thesis statement? In the first paragraph. Let me show you what the thesis statement looks like. This is the first paragraph. I will read the entire paragraph and show you the thesis statement. For all well-meaning citizens, the moral decadence in our society nowadays is cause for concern. Some have argued that the root cause of this decadence is poor parenting. Indeed, poor parenting has given rise to most of the criminality that we witness today. We all keep complaining when in fact parents themselves are largely to blame for the unsavory situation. In order to improve this situation, parents need to inculcate certain sterling qualities in their children. So you can see these underlined sentences. They constitute what we call the thesis statement, especially the last sentence. In order to improve this situation, parents need to inculcate certain sterling qualities in their children. The main idea of the entire passage is what the thesis statement is all about. And this will help you in summarizing. Now, apart from the thesis statement, you have the topic sentence, which shows you the main idea of each paragraph. Okay? Now, let me show you an example of the topic sentence, and we can find that in paragraph 2. There is no doubt that temptations are bound to arise in everyday life. However, if lessons in self-control are instilled in children, they will be able to resist temptations. You see, this second sentence is the topic sentence because it is the main idea of the entire paragraph. And that is one of the sentences you need to extract in answer to the summary questions. Okay, you are asked to summarize in 6 sentences, one for each, the qualities that the writer advises parents to instill in their children, and one of them is self-control. Okay, this is the topic sentence, and once you identify the topic sentence in each paragraph, it enables you to answer summary questions. If you look at other sentences in this paragraph too, they are all supporting details. All of them just help to support the topic sentence. Now let's go through the remaining sentences here. Children who have self-control are not likely to have problems with the law. Moreover, they will be able to avoid health issues and financial stress, as well as other consequences of lack of self-restraint. For example, a child who has been taught to avoid eating junk food will not become obese. So let's go back to the step number 2. We have seen the topic sentence. Then the third one is context clues. Let's look at context clues and how to use context clues. You know, you are to use context clues to identify the points required in the questions. What exactly are context clues? Look for the keywords contained in the summary questions. All right, those keywords are contained in the summary questions, and then let's look at the summary question, and then I'll show the key words there. In 6 sentences, one for each, summarize the qualities that the writer advises parents to instill in their children. So the key words are contained here. qualities that the writer advises parents to instill in their children. These are the key words. And what the key words help you to do is that when you start reading the passage, once you see these key words, then you know you have come to the area where you will find the answer. Okay, so now let's move on. Step number 3, reconstruct. What does it mean to reconstruct, and what are you expected to reconstruct? Reconstruct the extracts in your own sentences using the appropriate word reduction methods. I have shown you in paragraph 2 what the writer advises the parents to do, to instill self-control in their children. So you extract exactly that particular sentence, and then you extract other sentences. And after extracting them, what do? You reconstruct these sentences, because when you copy verbatim what the writer has written in the passage, you will lose marks in summary writing. Summary writing is about presenting the writer's ideas in your own words, and that is why you need to reconstruct the extracts in your own sentences using the appropriate word reduction methods. Let me just show you a few of the word reduction methods. But you may ask, what exactly is word reduction? Paraphrasing is what we call it. Paraphrasing is to restate the key points in your own words. This is crucial for effective summary writing. To paraphrase the writer's sentences, you need to use certain word reduction methods. The first one, which I call A, is change the perfect tense to the simple tense. All right? Let's look at an example. Consider this sentence. The soldiers have killed 10 insurgents. Here we have 6 words. Okay? Now, the soldiers have killed 10 insurgents. This sentence contains present perfect tense. So when we change it to the simple tense, we have the soldiers killed 10 insurgents, and that will give us 5 words. So we have, reduced the sentence from 6 words to 5 words. B, change passive to active verbs. So where you have passive verbs, change these passive verbs to active verbs, and that will help you to reduce the words, change the word order, and then change the ideas to your own words. For example, this book was written by Adichie, 6 words. Now, this is a passive sentence. If we change it to an active sentence, it will be Adichie wrote these words, and it contains 4 words. So the passive sentence contains 6 words. This book was written by Adichie, 6 words. Now, if we change it to active sentence, what we have is Adichie wrote this book, 4 words. That's one of the word reduction methods. C, remove modifiers. What are modifiers? Modifiers are words that are used to describe the keywords in a sentence. For example, Ada's bag is blue in color. We have 6 words. In fact, this does not only contain modifiers. In fact, the modifiers amount to what we call tautology in grammar, unnecessary repetition of the same idea or the same similar words or words with similar meaning. Ada's bag is blue in color. Now, look at the words in color. You already stated blue. Blue already shows you the color. So the other one in color is just an unnecessary modifier. So if we just remove it, what do we have? Ada's bag is blue, full stop. So we then reduce Ada's bag is blue in color, which is made up of 6 words, to Ada's bag is blue, which contains 4 words. This is another technique in word reduction. Then we have D, remove examples or illustrations. For example, most of the roads are full of potholes and some are too narrow to accommodate 2 vehicles coming from opposite directions. You see, these are examples, these are illustrations, and they amount to 21 words. You know, when the simple thing you want to say here is that most of the roads are bad. That's all. And this is 6 words. So when you remove the examples and illustrations contained in the first sentence, most of the roads are full of potholes and some are too narrow to accommodate 2 vehicles coming from opposite directions. All what you are saying is that most of the roads are bad, and you only need 6 words to say this. But with the examples and illustrations, you need 21 words. So you can see how summarizing can effectively eliminate unnecessary words and phrases and give you a very concise sentence. All right. Now, let's move on to step number 4. Step number 4 is present. What are you going to present? Present your answers in the specified number of sentences. All right. In WASSCE, NECO SSE, or NAPTEP SSCE, all these are very senior school certificate examinations. Uh, in these senior school certificate examinations, candidates are usually required to summarize in 3, 4, 5, or 6 words, as the case may be. All right. So what you need to do is simply to present your answers in the specified number of sentences. For example, you need to make sure you use exactly 6 sentences to convey the 6 points as specified in the question. The question we have before us is, in 6 sentences, one for each, summarize the qualities that the writer advises parents to instill in their children. Okay? Now, you cannot write 7 sentences where you are required to write only 6. So, in presenting your answers, you must present your answers in the specified number of sentences. And so this brings us to looking at the sample summary passage, then the questions and the answers. Okay. Now, the passage we have already seen, but as we earlier explained, you need to begin with the questions. Read the questions first, then read the passage. We earlier read the questions. So now this is the passage. Okay. Let's read through the passage, bearing in mind that we already read the questions according to the steps already outlined. Read the passage, the following passage carefully, and answer the questions on it. For all well-meaning citizens, the moral decadence in our society nowadays is cause for concern. Some have argued that the root cause of this decadence is poor parenting. Indeed, poor parenting has given rise to most of the criminality that we witness today. We all keep complaining when, in fact, parents themselves are largely to blame for the unsavory situation. In order to improve this situation, parents need to inculcate certain sterling qualities in their children. Paragraph 2. There is no doubt that temptations are bound to arise in everyday life. However, if lessons in self-control are instilled in children, they will be able to resist temptations. So here we have seen the first sentence we need to present as our answer. So we extract it, okay? All other sentences in this paragraph are supporting details, but all we need is to extract this from this paragraph. Now let's move on to the next paragraph. Let's identify the sentence we need to extract. Don't forget we have extracted sentence number 1, and we are looking for sentence number 2. We are looking for 6 sentences in all of them. Today, many people consider themselves better than others and therefore look down on them. They are arrogant, impudent, and intolerant. As such, they are hardly ever willing to accommodate other people's ideas. A child who has imbibed the virtue of humility will be respectful, take interest in other people's opinions. All right. So here we can see in this sentence that parents need to instill the quality of humility in their children. All right. Humility is misconstrued as a weakness, but in reality, it is a strength which helps people to recognize their faults and acknowledge their limitations. Parents should ensure that their children take active part in chores and duties at home. This is another point. We are through with the sentence number 2, which is that, we extract this one. A child who has imbibed the virtue of humility will be respectful, take interest in other people's opinion. So we extract this sentence, which we are going to reconstruct using our own words. But in this paragraph, we discover that there are two, qualities that are mentioned here. And then the second one is this: parents should ensure that their children take active part in chores and other duties at home. They will therefore know that there is virtue in serving others. So here, the quality of, rendering service to others is what is mentioned here. Okay, parents should ensure that their children take active part in chores and duties at home. So the quality of dutifulness or rendering service to others is mentioned here. So you extract this as sentence number 3. So let's move on to the next paragraph, and then we see the quality to extract. In life, we cannot avoid obstacles and disappointments. A child cannot learn how to walk without occasional falls. Similarly, in life, we experience occasional setbacks. For example, a child may fail a test at school. In such a situation, what is needed is encouragement that will boost the child's confidence for future tests. Parents can help the child to work out a strategy for achieving resounding success. Children should be taught the truth in the axiom: if you fail at first, try, and try again. This training in resilience helps children to face life challenges with confidence. So we extract the sentence: this training in resilience helps children to face life challenges with confidence. What we are looking for here is the quality called resilience. And so we will reconstruct it in our own words to simply state that parents should teach their children to be resilient, okay? Or inculcate in them the virtue of resilience, Simply put this idea in your own words. Now, we move on to the next paragraph. Don't forget, we already have our 4 extracts, which will give us 4 sentences out of 6. We are looking for the 5th one and then the 6th one. Many adults lack integrity. So when they say yes, they really mean no. They can therefore hardly be trusted or relied on, and usually fail to take responsibility for their actions or failures. The actions of such adults have grave implications for society. If parents train their children on the need to have integrity, such children will not go about engaging in criminal activities. So you can see this last sentence is what we need to extract. If parents train their children on the need to have integrity, such children will not go about engaging in criminal activity. So we extract it as number 5 extract, which will qualify as our sentence number 5. All right. So this is how you extract the main ideas contained in the passage, And after extracting them, you reconstruct them. Don't forget the simple steps we have discussed here. Read ABC. That's step number one, where A is read the questions first, B is read the passage until you understand, and then number three, C, read the questions again to familiarize yourself or assure yourself that you understand what you are asked to do. Then step number two will be, to extract. All right? Extract. And that's what I have shown you here. As you read through the passage, you extract the main ideas. Then step number three will be to reconstruct. After extracting these main ideas, then you change them to your own words. And step number four will simply be to present all these sentences you have reconstructed in your own words, present them as your summary answer. So you can see the simple process. These are the best steps in WASSCE summary writing, and that is exactly the focus of today's lesson. Now let's look at the next paragraph, and I read, cutting corners in order to get rich quick is the stock in trade of many adults who now engage in all forms of illegal and unwholesome activities to acquire sudden wealth. Indeed, the culture of hard work is fast disappearing. If children are well trained in appreciating the virtue of hard work, they will grow up into adults who will shun all forms of shady activities aimed at making an overnight fortune. Okay, so here, the virtue of hard work, the value of hard work is what you extract here. If children are well trained in appreciating the value of hard work, they will grow up into adults who will shun all forms of shady activities aimed at making an overnight fortune. So you extract this, okay? And this will be your extract number 5, which will qualify as sentence number 5. Now, let's look for our last but not the least extract, and that is in the next paragraph. Obedience to laws is a key quality that will make any society stable and function smoothly. For example, if taxes are paid when due as stipulated by societal laws, money realized will be used to provide the badly needed social amenities and infrastructure. Parents have an important role to play by training their children to obey rules and regulations at home. So you extract this, that parents have an important role to play by training their children to obey rules and regulations at home. So this is the quality of obedience to rules and regulations. This training will enable them to become law-abiding adults. So now we have extracted our sixth extract. So we have the 6 sentences. And then conclusion. In the light of the foregoing, parents should be good role models in terms of character, comportment, speech, and dedication to duty, among other things. Only under such circumstances can we build a stable society that benefits all. Okay? So that is the conclusion. And then here we have the summary question again. In 6 sentences, one for each, summarize the qualities that the writer advises parents to instill in their children. Now, having seen this question, then all we need to do is to take the steps already discussed. And this brings us to the sample summary that I'm going to show to you, the summary questions, how to present them. Now, let's look at the question once again. In 6 sentences, one for each, summarize the qualities that the writer advises parents to instill in their children. In 6 sentences, one for each. Don't forget how you should be able to read ABC, read the questions first, read the passage to understand it fully, then read the question again to be sure you have understood what you are asked to do. Then step number 2, extract the main ideas. And how do you extract them? You use the keywords here. the qualities that the writer advises parents to instill in their children. This will be the clues that will help you to extract those qualities one by one. And I've shown you how to do that. Now, step number 3 will be to reconstruct these extracts. Okay? You reconstruct them in your own sentences. And once you have reconstructed them in your own words, then you present them as answers. And the answers should be as follows. Now, here I have shown you how to use what we call a preamble. A preamble is an opening statement indicating what should follow. Now, when you are given this type of question in 6 sentences, one for each, summarize the qualities that the writer advises parents to instill in their children. If you decide to use the preamble method, look at the questions again. In 6 sentences, one for each, summarize the qualities that the writer advises parents to instill in their children. Then we come to the middle here and we simply say the qualities that the writer advises parents to instill in their children are, then you put a colon. That's what a preamble is. And after this, you come up with your answers. Parents should inculcate self-control in their children. Parents should teach their children the virtue of humility. Parents should teach their children the value of service to others. Parents should instill the quality of resilience in their children. Parents should teach their children the virtue of integrity. Parents should inculcate in their children the value of obedience to rules and regulations. These are the answers. And once you present your answers in this way, you will win all the marks, the 30 marks, allotted or assigned to summary writing. Trust me, you'll be given 30 marks because you have done a good job. You have presented your answers in the right way. And one thing you should ensure is that your answers are free from grammatical errors so that you don't lose any mark whatsoever. Okay? So I have shown you exactly the steps. So congratulations, you have mastered the best steps in WASSCE summary writing. Remember that practice makes perfect. So to excel in WASSCE summary writing, you need to reinforce these steps by tackling past questions and writing summaries regularly. Thank you for participating in today's episode. I look forward to seeing you in the next class. Many thanks for watching today's video. A big thank you to all of you out there for being part of today's episode. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, kindly subscribe to this channel. Subscribe now as a way of giving us support. For notification about new videos, click on the bell icon. You will find the bell icon. Click on it so that whenever a new video is uploaded, you will be instantly notified. If you have actually enjoyed the video, like and share the video with your friends and relatives. This is very important. If you have any comments, leave your comments below. Any questions, any suggestions, we would gladly receive them and respond promptly and positively to them. See you in the next video. I look forward to always seeing you in the new video. Thank you.